Happy holidays. It's Brian with Reclaimed Republic. We're going to talk about sales from last week. This week I'm going to do things just a little bit different. The past few weeks I've been talking about the top 10 sales, working my way from number 10 all the way up to number 1. And this week, as I was thinking about some of the things I was selling this week and some of the comments I made, I realized that there's not a lot of content where people are talking about the mistakes they made. So this week I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to talk about the worst 5 sales that I had this week, and then I'll get into the best 5 sales that I had this week. I think it's important as resellers to recognize that we all make mistakes from time to time, and to talk about those and help others learn from those mistakes. So I'll have some more context around those as we get into it. But just before we get started, we've got, I think it was 67 channel subscribers now, up from 41 last week. So just a massive improvement, which is amazing. I'm shocked and I'm just humbled, and I really appreciate everybody who's tuning in to watch. So thank you very much. All right, so this week was a pretty good week still. It had some slower days and some decent days. For the total, so it was $1,020.68 for the week. After the shipping, platform fees, ad fees, cost of goods, everything all in, pre-tax profit of $541.96, or a 53% pre-tax profit margin. Not quite as high as I want it, and you'll see why as we get into some of these sales, that profit margin, and it was getting dragged down for the week. But I sold 41 items total. 1 item popped up on Poshmark. 40 items were on eBay. Of the 40 items sold on eBay, 28 or 70% of those items were on promoted listings. And then there was a handful, I didn't count them in my totals, that were sold on offers that I sent out to potential buyers. I currently, for 98% of my items, I don't have best offer turned on. I try to stay on top of my comps. I delist, sell similar, have good market pricing, not bottom of the barrel pricing, but market pricing on my items to try to instigate a quick sale on the items. I did the order on Poshmark surprised me. I actually got a late shipment or near late shipment notification from them in email, because I actually took all my stuff out of my closet on Poshmark, Depop, and Mercari, and I canceled my Autoposher subscription, because when I looked back at it, for the amount of time it took to stay on top of those things, it just wasn't worth my time. I really needed to take that time, spend it on YouTube, spend it on eBay, and it's going to pay off much, much more for me that way. Let's get into the 5 worst sales of the week. So coming in at number 5 is this Boston Red Sox. This is a women's hat with the floral pattern on it. I picked this one up at Ross for $8, sold it for $19.89 free shipping, and after fees, promotions, everything, and the shipping, it came in at a $2.48 profit, pre-tax profit. So not a good investment there at all. A while back, it's been about 4 months ago, I was watching somebody who had purchased some sandals from Ross, and they're like, man, these are a quick flip, buy them for 50, sell them for 100. They were Hoka sandals, and on a whim I thought, man, I'll just go down to my Ross and check it out. And they actually had the sandals, and I bought them and I sold them. Took a little longer than I thought, because I bought a bigger size. That's what they had there at my Ross, but then I started looking around. I'm like, man, these hats, looks like I can sell these for pretty good money. Well, as I was picking things up, so were people across the country buying them from Ross. and the categories were just getting flooded and flooded. And there's also a lot of people that I found later on that were selling on eBay for basically the same price Ross was selling the items for. And I quickly learned that you have to be very, very, very selective on the items that you might pick up from a Ross or a TJ Maxx or something like that to resell if you want to, depends on your profit metrics. Some people might want to sell 300 of those hats a week and make $2.50. That's just not my model. So I'm used to 50% to 70% profit margins on my items after all my fees. But yeah, so this model's not going to be for me going forward. You're going to see a few items on here from Ross. I'm really, at this point, just trying to get them out of my inventory and get my cash back. So lucky for me, I did get my cash back, plus just a little bit extra, which helps offset the carrying costs I've had for having those in my inventory. Next item is this Disney Stitch plush. I picked this up at a garage sale for 25 cents and thought, man, this is going to be great. And if not, it's just 25 cents. So it took a while to sell. I ended up delisting it and selling similar, adjusting my price based on what sold comps were at, had turned into. Sold it for $7.89 free shipping and still made $1.65. I did the math. It's 6.5 times my money on a 25-cent investment, but not enough profit there to be messing around listing and delisting and all that pictures and all that with an item. So probably won't be picking up any more Stitch plush in my garage sale future. Next item. This is my mistake. I went to this garage sale and I saw this Dark Angel Season 2 and I was like, it looks kind of interesting, and I comped it, and it looked like it was going to sell for about $30, and they only wanted $2 for it, so I bought it, and I just opened it up like this. I didn't unfold it all the way, so I got home to list it, unfolded it all the way, and there wasn't a disc 6. It was 6 discs, except for number 6 was missing, so that was a bummer. So I actually didn't list it for a while. I considered just donating it, and then I noticed that people were selling incomplete sets. So I went ahead and listed, I think, for $9.89, and I ended up sending some offers, and so bought it for $2, sent out an offer for $5.44. Somebody bought it. That was plus shipping for a return of $1.54 pre-tax profit. This fourth item, but second worst sale of the week are these Adidas NMD navy blue shoes. Bought these at Ross, bought them for $60, and at the time I was one of 3 people that was listing them on eBay, and I listed them pretty high because I saw some very high sold comps, so I had them listed at $129.89 and wasn't getting any action at all. So finally, I delisted, tried to sell similar, but something that had to do with the pricing, because of the authenticity guarantee, it wouldn't let me adjust the price even whenever I did sold similar. So I ended up just killing the listing, kept the photos, killed the listing, just did a whole brand new listing from scratch, put them up for $74.89. plus shipping. That's what they were going for, and now eBay is flooded with those sneakers. So did sell them in about a week after creating a brand new listing for it. So after all the fees, taking out my cost of goods and everything, I made $1.37. So I got my money back, but still not enough to really offset all the holding costs for having those for about 4 months now. So. And then the worst sale of the week is another item that I picked up at Ross. Those Adidas shoes I picked up at Ross. So these Star Wars Stance Darth Vader socks. Picked these up for $5.99 a pair. I saw some pretty strong sold comps whenever I bought them, and it took me about a week to list them. And I'm finding out that in retail arbitrage, that week can kill you. And it absolutely did. So I paid 6. I ended up selling the ones I've been selling. I got a few pair left. I'm selling for $10.89 free shipping, and shipping on socks is about between $4.37 and $4.58 to go across the country from Oklahoma on Ground Advantage. So made 17 cents. Again, technically I got my investment back, but that was a very, very bad monetary investment. So 3 of the worst 5 items I sold were all retail arbitrage items from Ross. If you're going to get into that game, buying from the off-price retail chains like a Ross or a TJ Maxx or Marshall, something like that, you have to be very fast at getting your items up whenever you find a good item, and price it right to move it. Otherwise, everyone else is going to find it too. I haven't been reselling items from Ross recently, but I was running into a handful of resellers while I was there. And I could tell what they were doing. They're comping stuff and they're going by fast and flipping things over. And I asked a handful of them, are you reselling this on eBay? And they're like, oh yeah. And then a couple were doing on Amazon too. So, okay. So those are my worst 5 sales of the week. In total, only made about $7 off of those 5 items, which is horrible. But I've learned. I'm not doing that anymore. So now let's talk about some of the good stuff. So there's some interesting items mixed in here for sure. This first item, the 5th best sale of the week, this one shocked me a little bit. I was at a Goodwill and I was not really finding much there. And I looked on the bottom shelf back in the sporting goods, automotive. It's all kind of mixed together at this Goodwill section. And on the bottom, there was 2 packs of floor mats for cars. So I picked them both up and I comped them first because I didn't know a lot about floor mats then. I don't think I hadn't sold any yet. I hadn't sold any floor mats. So I picked both of them up, and one of them, I don't remember what it was, but I ended up selling it for $100. And I paid $8 a piece for the 2 sets. So this one took longer to sell. I was a little surprised I hadn't gotten any action because there were comps, but I delisted, sold similar, and about 2 weeks later, I started getting some views and watchers, and eBay was saying, hey, do you want to send these people an offer? So I sent out a couple offers, and I sold these Kia Telluride floor mats picked them up for $8, sold them for $63.91, free shipping. They were brand new. So all the brand new ones were going for free shipping. So I just followed suit and made a profit of $25.08, or a 39% pre-tax profit margin. And those are pretty easy to ship. I actually did a custom box on those. I just had a large sheet of cardboard that I got from a mattress box, and I just cut it down, scored it, folded it over, and sent it out. I've heard of some people sending stuff like that in big garbage bags and just kind of taping it around it and sending them all floppy. And I just personally prefer not to do that. I like a rigid box so they're not getting all bent weird or anything like that. So 4th best sale of the week is this ab roller. I sold one of these that was my dad's about 30 days ago. And then I found this one at a local thrift store for $15. And my wife thought I was a little cuckoo for buying it until I was telling her what the comps were on them, and ended up selling it for $69.89 plus shipping. So made a profit of $34.02, or a 49% pre-tax profit margin. And these are really easy to ship. I'm going to put a video right up here or maybe it's right up here. It's right up in one of these places that shows me packing this particular ab roller and how to ship these kind of bigger, bulky items. I just put them in a 27 by 15 by 16 large moving box from Home Depot. Works out perfect. So those are easy to sell. They sell well. Yeah, they just sell really well. The third best sale of the week is this Le Creuset saucepan. This is a vintage saucepan with the wooden handle. It's got the France, made in France stamped on the inside of the lid. It's a very heavy duty enameled cast iron saucepan. It's a really cool piece. Picked it up at $2 for a lot, and sold it for $45.89 plus shipping, with a pre-tax profit of $36.03 for a 79% profit margin. Love seeing those profit margins in the 70s. I spent most of my career in distribution, and there are no 79% profit margins in distribution. So this is pretty amazing. The second best sale of the week. This one was interesting. I think I say interesting a lot, but a lot of stuff is interesting to me whenever you're shopping for everything to try to resell it and make a living. I was at a garage sale. I saw this game. It looked odd to me. I'd never heard of it, never seen it. There's tons of different random pieces. Looks like some kind of a fantasy game. The box was, the end panel of the box was torn off, so I could see kind of some stuff in there. And I just snapped a picture of the box, and it had some decent comps. So I thought, maybe I'll just sell it for parts and pieces. I really don't know. But for $3, I took a chance on it, picked it up. I let it sit on my shelf over here for too long, for about a month, before I finally just pulled everything out last week and just went through all the parts and pieces, got them all, sorted, and listed it as an incomplete set and sold it for $109.89 plus shipping. So that one, whenever I finally saw the comps and how it was selling, that was pretty cool. I did get my butt kicked a little bit on the shipping because I didn't realize the size of box I was going to need. I think I don't know if I measured wrong, but I just got my box size wrong, and it kicked it up to, I think I did a 24-inch long box. And once you get past certain measurements, you go into these next brackets of shipping. So I think I undershot my shipping by about $7 or $8. So still $79.79 pre-tax profit, 73% profit margin. And then this last one, I won't say interesting, I'll say unique. There's a estate sale outlet location in North Oklahoma City. They'll run estate sales and buy everything at the end and then put it in this building, and then they'll buy from other estate sale companies and do the same thing. And there are days where they'll do half off, and my wife and I went in there on a half off day, and I saw these surgical tools sticking out of a box. And at first I didn't even know they were surgical tools. I didn't know what the heck they were. And I picked it up and I started reading the names. I'm like, these sound like surgical tools. And I Google lensed them, looked them up on eBay, and there was a bunch of new ones for sale. And then I did see that some used ones had sold in lots of like 2 or 3 for like the same type of thing. And selling for decent money. Brand new, they sell for a lot. Used, they sell for decent money, and people were listing them as practice tools. And I'm guessing if you're going to be a doctor or a veterinarian, something like that, maybe you have some of these at home that you're practicing with while you're, getting ready for exams or trials, or I don't know. So, again, it was pretty low barrier of entry. They were $1.50 a tool, so I spent $12 for the 8 tools and went. Again, they were another thing. I was like, I'm going to have to, they were a little bit dirty because they've been sitting in dirty boxes. So, I had to clean them up, do more research. So I don't think I listed them for about a month. So finally I pulled them out, cleaned them all up, got the pictures taken, and listed them for $149.89. And had somebody send me a message and ask if I would sell them for $120. And if so, would I send them an offer? And I'm like, 12 into 120? Yes, please. So I sent them the offer. 5 minutes later, they paid. Got them sent out the door. Best sale of the week. Definitely the most unique sale, I think. I don't know that I've had another item. I'm going to unique, weird, whatever you want to call it, like used surgical tools, but $90.54 pre-tax profit, 75% profit margin. Just, yeah, very, very, very interesting, unique, weird, kind of creepy, maybe, items, but somebody wanted to buy them, so I was happy to sell them to them. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do enjoy content like this, check out some of the other videos listed below. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those below. I'll be sure to get back to you. If you find this content valuable at all, you might consider subscribing. It's free to you, certainly helps. I really appreciate you watching either way. It's Christmas time. It's the holiday season. I hope everybody's safe. Have a great holiday season. See you next time.